Hello everybody. So today I heard some news coming that apparently I think it's five or six um, Indian cricketers on tour with the Indian national cricket team were caught eating in a restaurant outside, and therefore that's a breach of their biosecurity rules. So for people not aware, a lot of these international and sometimes state teams, or local teams even, they are in what's called a biosecurity bubble. And what this means essentially is that they're only allowed to talk to other people within their bubble. So they're not allowed to talk to regular people, not even their family. Unless their family is also in the bubble, but that's not normally the case. So they were, I think they were allowed to eat inside but not outside, or was it outside but not inside? I can't remember which way around it went. Anyway, they went the wrong way around, whichever way it was. And of course I'm here, sitting here, or standing here, being quite confused as to which way around it was, and perhaps they were quite confused as to which way around it was as well. So for people not aware, in Melbourne, we've now worked out that we caught the cases, or some of the cases, from Sydney on the 21st of December, and this seems to have been a couple of people who were from Sydney that sneaked into Melbourne, which they weren't allowed to do, on the 21st of December. Now, we're not quite sure how many people, because they lied about it. So we don't know how many of them came in and who they infected, because they've been lying about it. And so we've only recently figured out that we've had it. So as far as we're all concerned, we were fine until Christmas, but it actually seems as if it took a week before we found them. So they went to however many people went to however many people, we don't really know, because there's been a lot of lying. So officially we've got 20 cases. Because the amount of lying, it could well be 50 or more, which is still not an alarming number. Certainly not the 7,500 or 7,880 that we had before in August, which at that time were actually more like 50,000 in real numbers. But we're nowhere near that. But we are at a level where we do have people lying. So as opposed to the Sydney one, which is within a particular area, and even though it's spread a bit, we actually have it under a bit of control. So the Indian people have done this, the Indian cricketers have done this in Melbourne, where we do have the potential of uncontrolled spread. Sorry, I should say we do have uncontrolled spread. We don't know how much, it might not be that much. We don't know if it's just limited to the 20 that we've currently officially got, or if it's 50, if it's 30, we don't know. We know it's at least 20, that's how many we've officially come. And we got 10 today. If we get 10 tomorrow, well, that's a good thing. But if we get 20 tomorrow, then that's bad. If it keeps doubling, because the last 3 days it's doubled, that demonstrates out of control spread. And particularly if it's all over the place, as it seems to be, we could be heading towards a massive lockdown for Melbourne. And if we're not, then we should be, because we took way too long to go into a lockdown in August. So I'd rather go into a lockdown now for a couple of weeks rather than wait and then have to do it for 4 months again, which was awful. So we'll see what happens there. But the thing is, with these cricket players, the thing is that they're now heading to Sydney, or they will be soon, assuming that we still play the test at Sydney. And the current thought is to have 20,000 people there. And Sydney, of course, has their own infection. So what if these Indian cricket players, caught it in Melbourne, and then give it to their own team, potentially the Australian team as well? They go out there, they give it to perhaps the whole crowd, and so forth and so forth. It's very dangerous. So for me, I'm feeling like maybe they should just ban those 5 players, at least for one test. Now, I think 2 of them probably weren't going to play anyway, at least. Possibly 3. So it's really only going to be probably Pant and Gill. Now, Pant can quite easily be replaced by Saha. I don't know that there's that much of a difference between him. Gill, well, that'll probably mean that Rohit Sharma will have to come in for him. And the others probably weren't going to play. So essentially it's really two players that'll be missing out. Well, actually, sorry, Rohit Sharma was one of them in there, so that does make it a bit difficult. But look, it's not about the players. I know some people say, "Oh, that's not fair. I'm just doing that because I'm an Australian." No. I'm doing that for public health, and sports players are not immune, or they shouldn't be immune, to the rules and regulations. And I think that, and I guess you'd have to sort of analyse how big an issue this is. And if it's not that big an issue, well, then they can play. But I think with the situation right now, I think that we should err on the side of caution. And I mean, I've also said, and I've said this before, I think that we shouldn't be playing in Sydney. I think that's really dangerous, and I think, probably the safest option for all concerned is to play another test in Melbourne. We might have to play it with less crowds because of the current situation, or maybe no crowds even. Because, I mean, even going to Sydney, and then we go to Brisbane. Well, what are we doing? Or do we play this test at Brisbane and third and fourth at Brisbane? That's another option. I mean, I think if we went to Hobart, they wouldn't take us. They wouldn't take the teams. And I don't think their ground's prepared either. So yeah, look, that's a bit of a funny thing. But certainly, I think that they should be banned. We should be erring on the side of caution, unless, of course, well, certainly, I think they should be considered. They should have to meet a tribunal, and then they can decide whether that was serious enough to warrant a ban, or if it's, well, not that bad, that sort of thing. So I'm not sure. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. So just a quick note today. So that's it for today. Bye bye.